There are other realms, you guys. This isn't the only realm that there is. There are other realms. You go to some of these realms when you dream. You go to some of these dreams, if you've ever taken psychedelics in your life, you probably went to other realms. That proves that there's other realms. The problem is that you've been conditioned to think like a human. You've been conditioned to think like an animal. You've been conditioned to think that this is all there is. But when you really think deeper about it, you'd see that you are so wrong. I like skepticism, I like skepticism. I like it when people are skeptical. I also like being skeptical. And I've tried my best to be skeptical when it comes to this idea that there are other realms, but as it becomes more and more obvious to me the more I reach higher levels of awareness. Like, yeah, of course there's other realms. Of course this isn't the only realm that we can experience, Of course, that's not going to make you feel good, especially if you have truly suffered in this realm. You're like, what? So you mean to tell me that it doesn't end here? Like, after this, I'm still going to have an experience? But I also feel like that's liberating, because you're not going to be too attached to this realm. It's like if you were in a dream and you knew it was just a dream and you're going to wake up. Would you be too attached to that dream? Will the things that be happening in the dream really affect you that deeply? You see, the reason why people suffer in their dreams, because, sometimes we do have dreams where we're suffering, that's really because they think that what they're experiencing is real and that's all that there is. Like, they cannot wake up. Like, that's it. That's real life. That's it. That's real. You know what I mean? So they become attached. So when bad things happen in their dream, they'll be like, oh, yeah. This is all there is. So it's actually important for me to try my best to kind of like fix the situation, right? To make things better. Because if I don't make things better and this is all that there is, then I would not have had like a good experience. You know what it's like? It's like if you didn't know it was possible for you to date other people, like you're in a relationship and you didn't know it was possible for you to date other people. Let's say you had low self-esteem, so you felt like, well, no one is gonna love me. You felt like it was impossible for you to find another person that's gonna love you. That would mean that you have to make the relationship work no matter what. You don't feel like, man, but it's all up to me, really. I'm almost 100% sure that there are other realms. The only reason why I'm not 100% sure is because I like being skeptical. I don't want to be too sure. Like, if you don't know something for sure, don't be too sure. Right? You have to be skeptical. In fact, don't be sure about anything, to be honest with you. Like, in this room, you can't even be sure about anything. It needs to get to a point where you question everything. You need to question your experience. Is what I'm experiencing real? You need to question your perspective. When things happen, you must ask yourself, am I really interpreting what is happening right? Am I interpreting what's happening accurately? Or there are things that I'm telling myself that are actually not true, but because I'm not skeptical enough, I don't realize that it's possible that these things that I'm telling myself are not true. So being skeptical is very, very important, especially when you're doing the work that we're doing. Trying to understand reality, trying to figure out how to free yourself. You've got to be skeptical. No matter how sure you are, leave a room for uncertainty, right? No matter how sure you are about anything, leave a room for uncertainty. So I'm almost 100% sure that there are other rooms, but I've left a room for uncertainty. Why? Because, well, we do live in a world where things are not even what they seem. So of course you can deceive yourself. I mean, it's a world of deception, to be honest with you. It's a world of deception. And it seems like for a realm to work, and for you to be in that realm and believe that everything that's happening in that realm is true, there has to be deception. You know, the same way that when you're dreaming, you believe that your dreams are real. That's deception, right? It's like your own consciousness. So maybe your subconscious, like, deceiving you somehow, or your consciousness deceiving itself. Like it's capable of doing that. So it's good to be skeptical. But after all the work that I've done, I can tell you that it's much more logical to think that other realms exist, and not only that other realms exist, but that there's infinite realms. Like this is so small compared to what can be experienced, you know. So you mustn't be too attached to anything in this realm. In fact, you must practice detachment. There are people who believe that the world that we find ourselves in is solid, and don't realize that that belief is the root of their attachment to this realm, right? Like you believing that, hey, this is it, this is real, this is a physical world, you know, one day I'm gonna die, and when I die I'm gonna cease to exist for good, and that's it. But ask yourself this question, before I go any further, guys. The Discord server is actually doing well, right? Look, if you have not joined this Discord server, I'm gonna put a link in the description. Also, I'm gonna put a link on the pinned comment of this video. On the pinned comment of this video, and also there's a link on my YouTube about, right? So check the link, join. I like Discord because I think you are free to say whatever you want to say, but also the format is good, right? It's fun, you know, it's fun. So trust me, you will definitely benefit, you know, if you join the Discord server, and we can talk about anything. There are things that I don't even talk about on this channel because I know that YouTube won't allow me to talk about these things. You know, I know that some comments you can't really make on my videos because YouTube is automatically going to delete this comment, you know. So Discord, trust me, we're good. We can talk about whatever. So join the Discord server. It's gonna keep on growing, you know. It's gonna keep on growing. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So yeah, join. You know, let's grow together, because the work that we're doing, that's what it's really about. It's about growth. We need to grow. We need to figure out what is more true, because that's the only way to free yourself. You know, some people don't believe that the truth is the only thing that can actually set you free, right? Knowing the truth, knowing what is actually going on. The real problem is that you don't know. The real problem is that you have believed things that are not even true. That's the problem. You need to believe things that are actually true to free yourself. That's it. If you believe that to free yourself, you must believe in Jesus, you're trapped. You're not going to set yourself free because that shit is not true. You know what I mean? You believe that Allah is going to save you. That shit is not true. There's no Allah that's going to save you. You know, it's you tricking, it's your mind tricking you, basically. Allah is going to say, what do you mean? You know what I mean? Like, think. You will outgrow these things. You will outgrow these beliefs. You're going to stop being a child and start seeing things as they really are, so that you'll be able to pull yourself out of this thing. It's an illusion. All of it is an illusion. You know, it's not what it seems. So you need to let go of these beliefs that are keeping you stuck. Religion, look, if there's something that's truly keeping people stuck, is religion. I'm telling you. If there's something that is actually keeping people stuck here, is an illusion. And that is why I'm becoming more and more confident that I'm going to escape this thing. The reason why I'm becoming more and more confident is because I don't meet that many people who are conscious. I'm like, oh shit. Everyone is the same. So that means that if I'm like this, there's a real chance that I can escape, because I can see how wrong they are. But they don't see how right I am. I mean, they do feel like I'm intelligent, but they just think that I'm just intelligent, right? And it's not even intelligence. It's just sanity. I'm gonna call it sanity. Like, my intelligence is sanity, so I wouldn't really call it intelligence. I'll call it sanity. It's the ability to see things as they really are. It seems like that's where humanity fails. You know what I mean? Like, people don't see things as they actually are. That's why people fight. Like, in relationships, people fight because they don't see things as they really are. You know, there's a person who's right, there's a person who's wrong, or both partners are wrong. That happens. You find that you and your partner are not living in reality. You keep on fighting because of some stupid shit, but you both don't understand what the fuck is actually going on. You see? So you fight. So that's what's happening around the world. Countries are fighting. They're not able to come up with actual solutions that are going to work for everyone. You know? So if you don't see things as they are, you're insane. That's insanity. Basically, like, insanity is you not being able to see things as they are. So it sucks when a lot of people don't see things as they are, and they agree that they are actually right even if they are wrong. You see? That's why things suck in this realm. So the work that we're doing is about figuring out what is actually true, because we've been lied to so much. Some people think that, you know, they actually become enlightened when they meditate. Like, I meditate for 7 days. That's when I'm going to become enlightened. No, you don't become enlightened by meditating. Even if you do figure out that there are other realms, that doesn't make you enlightened. You can still tell yourself lies even if you know there are other realms. What's really going to free you is actually seeing things as they really are and being able to explain these things. I remember there have been so many people who have commented on my videos and say, you know what, I used to not believe, like, for an example, I will talk about solipsism. Like, well, I didn't believe in solipsism, but you make a lot of sense. I don't even know what to say, because what you're saying makes a lot of sense. So that's the work that we're doing. We're trying to figure out what actually makes sense. It's not that I make sense, it's that what I'm saying actually makes sense. Easy? So I try to think as rationally as possible to get to what is actually true, because that's what really matters. You're not escaping this if you're telling yourself lies. Like, it's impossible. You know? You have to really figure out what really, really, really makes sense. And that's how you free yourself. If you were in a dream and you were believing nonsense in your dream, there's no way you'll be lucid, right? You're believing everything that's happening. How do you become lucid? You become lucid by questioning what is happening. Be like, why is my watch operating this way? Oh, something's wrong here. Why do women like me a lot? What's going on? It's not like that's how it is in real life. Maybe this isn't even real. This reminds me of this video that I saw on TikTok. So they showed that if you watch Inception, you remember there was this totem thing that they would use to figure out whether they were dreaming or not. So the caption said, when things are going too well in your life and then you spin the totem and it doesn't stop spinning. You must be able to figure out what's real and what isn't, right? If things change in your life and you see that, the way things have changed doesn't really make sense. When I look at how things used to be and how things are now, something doesn't seem right. Yeah, you must ask yourself why, things are the way that they are now and why things were the way that they were back then. Always be asking questions and always be genuinely looking for the right answers. Don't be looking for answers that make you feel comfortable. I know people who tell themselves anything just to feel comfortable, just to feel like, things are good. Like, no, tell yourself the truth. Even if the truth is horrible, even if the truth makes you sick, it's fine. You must learn to value truth. Teach yourself to value truth. So what I'm saying to you is that this isn't the only realm that there is. I know that's really hard to believe, but I think consciousness didn't really hide the truth from itself. It's just that you are so attached to this realm that you forget that there are others. It's the same way that, like, to dream effectively, you need to forget that you're dreaming. You need to forget that you're sleeping in your bed. That's how you dream effectively. So what is happening is that we become too attached, come too attached to our relationships, work, money, goals, dreams. So what happens is that you forget. I mean, when you're too attached, if you ever dated a person and you become so damn attached to them that other people do not matter. There are females in your life, but you don't care about them because you're so attached to that person. That's how it happens, right? That's exactly how it happens. You become too attached to what you call reality, that you believe it's all that there is. But ask yourself, how was this reality even possible? You cannot tell me this was random. Come on. Let's be real. Let's be honest. Let's stop being children. You mean to tell me that this shit is random? You look at yourself. You look at the way your hand works. It's all random. It's just evolution. You want to tell me that, Benedict, you just don't understand evolution. What are you talking about? What started this process in the first fucking place? I remember who said it? I think I got this I got this quote from South Park. I think Stan, if it's not Stan or Carl, said this. They had this episode where there was this famous atheist. I always forget his name, but he's like the most famous atheist. He believes in evolution. So I remember, Stan or Carl asked him, can evolution be the answer to how, not why? Because we also need to ask ourselves, if evolution is true, how? Why did it start? Who started it? It's like if someone detonated a bomb. Who created that? But it's not like we cannot just say it just detonated. Like, we need to figure out who created the bomb, and who detonated that bomb, right? We're gonna just say it's just random. A bomb cannot create itself and then detonate. Like, no. So yeah, maybe we have evolved, but why did we evolve? We can understand how we evolved, but why? When you look at the way AI is evolving now, you're like, like AI is becoming more and more advanced. We cannot just say that's just random. Let's just say artificial intelligence wiped off all of humanity. And you started believing that, well, it's just evolved. Like, no, there has to be something that programmed AI to evolve, right? Look at your own body, the way that it works. You have to understand that and this is important to understand, if evolution was really, really true, we would have went extinct, actually, because we wouldn't have become perfect overnight. It would mean that we'll just die. If, you know what I mean? We would have died because we wouldn't have just become perfect. Like, how would we survive? What would we have survived? And you say, oh, it's survival of the fetus. Nah, not really, because to even become fit, you must go through a lot. How would you have survived? You know, you'd need something outside of you to kind of like help you survive, like the way that we raise babies, you know, to build you into something strong. You don't just do that on your own. Like, you just figure out, oh, I must move like this now to survive. I must move like this now to survive. I must move like this now to survive. Like, no, you wouldn't have survived. Your Christianity, if that was true, you must ask yourself, why is God high? Like, let's be real. Let's stop being children, guys. Let's stop being children. You know, talking about God and all. Like, you need to ask yourself, talking about Buddhism and all. Listen, never allow people to make claims that they cannot prove. Yes, there are beliefs that can actually help you feel better, I guess, right? But it doesn't mean that these beliefs are true. If you're really into truth, you mustn't care how it makes you feel, right? You mustn't care how it makes you feel. You listen to Deleuze's canon telling you about Earth being a school and all that, and it makes you feel like there are so many questions that we need to ask ourselves. I remember this other lady, I think her name is Nontle but she's famous, very beautiful, South African. I don't even know what she does. So she was on, I think she was on McGee's podcast. I think that's the biggest podcast in South Africa. So she was saying, I believe that we choose our parents, right? And there's this guy, his name is Soul. He asked the right question. Like, guy is brilliant. So he's like, okay, so what about babies that get thrown in dustbins? Did they choose their parents too? You know? What about babies that get thrown in toilets? Like, did they choose the, you know? And she couldn't, I think she specifically said, I can't answer that. Because, well, that doesn't make sense. You chose your parents for what reason? Would you choose to be born so that you can be thrown in a toilet? Look at you now. Would you choose to incarnate in a world where you will get thrown in the toilet? What the fuck do you learn? You are too damn unconscious to even learn anything. Let's be real. Let's stop being children. Let's grow. Because people be lying to themselves now, and that's becoming a trend, you know. Must lie to yourself. Try to be as positive as possible. No, stop with that nonsense. Just try to be as real as possible. Don't try to be as positive as possible. A lot of people who are positive lie to themselves. You see? So you have to be as real as possible. And it takes bravery to be real. You know, in a world of lies, it really takes bravery. So if you are real and everyone else is fake, then feel like you are better and embrace that. Take pride in that, because you are. Because that's not easy. I think one of the hardest things to do is to be brave in this world. We've been taught to be cowards, you know. We're not supposed to speak the truth about anything. All right. People will hate you for speaking the truth. You will lose your girlfriend, your boyfriend for speaking the truth. You will lose friends for speaking the truth. So really, speaking the truth takes real bravery, because you can lose a lot of things that actually help you survive. You know, you might lose a lot of coping resources because you speak the truth. You know, you need friends to cope. You need a girlfriend, a boyfriend to. I know the guys are like, hey, we're going our own way. But the truth is that they do need women. The problem is that they know it doesn't really work. Like, relationships don't really work for them. So they're like, you know what? We're just going our own way. We know we did things right. It just doesn't work. We don't know what's really, really wrong, but it just doesn't work. But deep down, they do need women. That's how we've been programmed. Deep down, women need men. You know, these women that are that are just done with relationships and they just hate men. They've been through a lot. They've been mistreated. So now they hate men. But deep down, we all need love. Human beings need love. Like anything that you do, you actually do it because you need love. Think about it. Why do you post anything? Like on your WhatsApp status, why do you post your status on WhatsApp? You need attention. You need love. You need someone to interact with you. You know what I mean? You post videos on YouTube. I post videos on YouTube because, I have many reasons why I'm posting videos on YouTube, but this, I also need love, right? Yeah, I'm posting videos on YouTube because I want to express myself as honestly as I can, because I believe that I'm actually right, and also to connect with like-minded people, but also that has to do with love, because you want to connect with people that understand you, because understanding itself is love, you see? You cannot love what you don't understand, so being understood, that's love. You want that as a human. What I'm saying to you is that this isn't all there is. When you think deeply about it, you realize that it will be impossible. Listen, if we lived in a material world, it would have been impossible for something to come out, to come into existence on its own and become very complex and very intelligent. Like how? How does that happen? We don't see that happening. We don't see things coming out of nowhere now. Because that, if you want to believe in a material universe, you would have to believe that there was a time where nothing existed at all. And you also need to believe that time exists, right? So there was a time where there was nothingness. Like nothingness. And somehow something came into existence. But where did it come from and what caused it to come into existence? Let's be real, guys. Let's be real. You say, well, it comes from other realms. Okay, fine. We also have to ask ourselves how it came into existence in that realm to even come into our realm. Don't you see that the best way to explain reality is through idealism? That consciousness itself is fundamental. Like I keep on telling you that in your dreams, there are things that exist and these things weren't created and you don't even know how your mind created these things. So isn't that the best way to explain reality? Think about it, man. Like just think about it. Don't tell me I don't understand evolution and all. Like what are you talking about? Like there are things that are so practically true that you shouldn't even debate. Let us be real. Let's do this work that we need to do to get to the truth. You have to realize that materialism is another trap. When you are dreaming, you believe you are in a physical world and you will make the same mistake that you're making in this realm. If you ever met me in your dreams and we had to debate whether we were in a dream or not, you literally come up with the same points that you're coming up with now. Like, the reason why this world exists is because, it is evolution, and we went through this process and that process, and that's why we're here, and you don't understand it, and that's why. Like, no. Don't allow your own mind to trick you. This is a dream. It's not real. It's one of the realms that you can find yourself in, and the realms that exist are infinite. You can find yourself in any realm. After leaving this realm, but yeah, it's gonna feel like this is real. Nothing can come out of nothing. It doesn't work that way. But consciousness, because it's fundamental, it's able to create things that seem physical, just like it does in our dreams, just like it does when you're having a psychedelic experience. It does that. Create things that you even believe are real. You easily believe that these things are real. How many times does your own mind fool you? How many dreams have you had in your life? How many lucid dreams have you had? Some people have never had a lucid dream in their life. It means that their own mind keep on fooling them. So if your own mind can fool you, what are the chances that it's not fooling you right now? We know that it is possible to dream. It's possible to dream and you think that you're not in a dream. We already know that it is possible. What we do not know is that it's actually possible for something to come out of nothing in a physical world, and somehow it starts to exist and it gained this superpower. And I mean, look at you you look at yourself as a human. Do you have superpowers to create worlds? You don't, right? So how did something that came out of nothing, that was created through some random events, gain the ability to even create this? If you would seem perfect, I mean, human beings are not perfect, but you think you're intelligent, you are conscious. If you can't figure out how to create this thing, what makes you think that something that was created out of some random event was able to create this thing? Like, think. Consciousness is fundamental. Consciousness is all there is. What consciousness does is dream up reality, and that's why you are here. So that means that it can dream up any reality, right? It can have a dream where you are in heaven, where you are having a good time. You can have a dream where you are in hell, and when you look around you, you can say that you're in hell. So yeah, it's a dream that you are having. You are having a dream that you are in hell. So you are experiencing what it's like to be in hell. That's not what you want, but because consciousness is able to dream up anything, and it seems to kind of like do that on its own, this is where you find yourself. So to free yourself, you must know the truth. You must know that it's not real. You must know that there are other realms. You must know that consciousness is able to dream up anything. And that is why I keep on telling people that, hey, try to be as brave as possible. Don't be a coward. Don't live in fear. Don't justify your fears. There are people who justify their fears. A person will tell you that I have anxiety, and you don't understand that I have anxiety. I was talking to this other lady. We work out together. So she was telling me about her work. Like, yo, a lot of people don't understand that I have anxiety. I'm afraid of people. And I'm like, babes, you're justifying your fears. You can beat that shit. I know this sounds mean because people want to be like, I don't know why people want to feel like victims. Like, no, if you have a weakness, fight that weakness, because it's going to stop you from evolving. You're going to have anxiety in your fucking dreams. You're going to have anxiety in the afterlife. So you must beat that shit. Figure out what makes you feel anxious and fight it than justifying it. And when people tell you that you must fight it, you hate them. Like, oh, you don't understand. Oh, you mean, you're this. No, you must fight it. I suffered from anxiety growing up. I was afraid of a lot of things that other people weren't afraid of. But now, I'm so unafraid of those things that I'm actually ahead of those people that used to be unafraid of those things. You know what I mean? Like, for example, I'll be afraid of girls. Now my game is next level. Like, not even game, like my confidence is next level. Like, I'm not afraid of rejection. I'm not afraid of talking to strangers. But I would shake when I would need to talk to strangers. But I had to work against that fear, because it didn't help me. It was going to make my life more horrible. So I had to figure out how to be confident. Let some people think you gain confidence when you are being successful all the time. No, you can gain confidence even if you feel like you're not going to be successful. You see, confidence comes from your ability to handle whatever, right? That's confidence. It's like if you're an MMA fighter, you're always winning fights, and you think you can win. That's not confidence. Like, say now you have to fight a new opponent. That's not confidence. That's just you being comfortable. Confidence is you feeling like you can handle losing. That's confidence. Like, yeah, I can go in. Let's whatever happens, happen. That's confidence. You see, it's that you are able to handle the worst. So you must not have anxiety. You must teach yourself to handle the worst. If, for example, you're afraid of talking to strangers because you think, strangers are gonna maybe insult you. Like, if you approach a person and you ask for help, they're gonna insult you. Like, that can happen, right? But you need to be able to handle that, so that you have confidence in your own power to handle that, so you don't give a shit anymore. Like, oh yeah, it can get rejected, and you get rejected, and you're like, oh, it is what it is. Like, me, I've gone to a point where I'm so unafraid of rejection that I don't even feel anything when I'm rejected. Sometimes I put myself in situations where I can be rejected and I'll be alright, because I no longer fear rejection. But I used to fear rejection. I had to work against that fear. So you must keep on working on, working against what's holding you back, because this shit that you don't work on is still going to affect you wherever you find yourself. If you have anxiety, you're gonna have anxiety in the afterlife. Like, you can say it's an illness and all that. Like, not really. What it really is the best way to describe it, I would say it's like energy, right? Let's say you focus your energy on validation, and if you're not being validated, you suffer. That means that validation is going to be a big thing, a big deal to you. Like, I need to be told that what I'm doing is right. I need people to respond in a way that's going to make me feel, and it gets to a point where that's too damn important to you. And then when you're not being validated, you feel so bad that you believe you have a mental illness. No, it's energy. It's what you focus your energy on. That's it. If you focus on your energy on approval, like you want other people to approve of you, and you get used to that, and it becomes so damn important to you, that's what's going to be damn important to you. It's like relationships. I remember I had a conversation with this lady that truly broke my heart. I was telling her that, it's crazy that I don't really feel anything anymore. Like, there was pain that I felt, and I can't even describe it, but I don't feel anything anymore. I felt something because of how much energy I invested in you. And that's true. I invested so much energy in believing that she's the one for me. She's my soulmate, and me and her can never grow apart. Our relationship is going to work. So I believed that fully. So that became my reality. You see? So whatever threatened that belief was a big deal to me. And when she decided that, hey, I'm leaving this relationship, I begged. I don't beg people, but I begged her. I tried everything, bro. Like, I remember this other day, I was having a conversation with her. She just paused and she was like, Ish, you are really, really, really smart. The reason why she said it is because I was using my brain and like, dude, the way that I was having a conversation with her was crazy. Like, that she actually realized that, hey, damn, this dude, like, I'm trying to get her back, but if she has made up her mind, she's made up her mind. You're not getting her back. But I was in pain. Why I was in pain? Because I invested a lot of energy in the idea that me and her should be together. That's it. It's not because we should be together. It's not because breakups are painful. I mean, they are painful, but the pain that I felt was something else. It's only because I invested my energy in her, in the idea that we should be together. So if you invest your energy in the idea that each and every person that you talk to must show you that they love you, you're going to be anxious because you want approval from other people. So you don't realize that your anxiety comes from wanting approval. People are mean. You must understand that. Some people are going to be mean to you. Some people are going to be good to you. So you must not invest your energy in getting approval, because you're going to be addicted to that, and then you call it anxiety. You see? So we need to evolve, We need to keep on evolving. That's how we accept this thing. Your mind always want to have an experience. That's something that I've realized. It's like the mind doesn't know how to not dream. And that sucks. It doesn't know how to not have an experience, how to just be in this state where there's just nothingness. Try to close your eyes. Don't you kind of feel like you are about to enter a world, like when you close your eyes and think of nothing? Don't you feel like you're about to enter another world somehow? Like your own mind wants to create a world for you. And the best way for your mind to create a world for you is take from your previous experiences, try to create something new, you know, or try to recreate some events. That's how reality is created. When I close my eyes, I can feel that my own mind wants to create something. I can feel that. In fact, I don't know if everyone is able to do this, but when I focus enough, I'm actually able to see images. Like if I close my eyes like this and try to see images, I'm actually able to see images. But they are, I'm seeing these images at night, right? But I can see, sometimes I can see a person walking, or sometimes I can see trees, like, you know. I don't think everyone is able to do that. So if this isn't the only realm that there is, what do we do then? If this realm sucks, do we decide that, oh yeah, there are many other realms out there, so it is what it is? Or do we tell ourselves that, you know what, this is a serious challenge. You know, I found myself in a realm where things don't make sense, where I have fears, you know, where I can feel pain, where I get disappointed a lot, where people are mean, animals are trying to eat each other. What if I try to work on becoming as brave as possible? One that worked, one that made me as a soul, for lack of a better term, one that make me as a soul stronger, so that no matter where I find myself, I'm still strong. I'm still not holding back, because I didn't allow myself to fall into a rabbit hole of fear. You know, what happens when you live in fear is that you start justifying your fears, and negative things will happen, and you will continue to be afraid. That's how you fall into a rabbit hole of fear. But if you say, I'm going to be brave, when you're facing a situation, you're like, okay, what's the bravest thing I can do in this situation? Oh, okay, here's what I got to do. And you do it. And then you find yourself facing another situation. What's the bravest thing I can do? You now teaching yourself and making yourself addicted to being brave, so you're going to make the right decisions that are going to free you. You see? So you got to take responsibility for your own awareness, your own consciousness, for your own mind. What are you feeding your mind? What are you telling yourself? It's not about telling yourself that, hey, I'm good enough, I'm this and that. Listen, what would happen if you're not good enough? How would you handle not being good enough? Just like I was telling you, that confidence is in you actually believing that you win. That's not confidence. There are situations where you just know you're going to win. That's not confidence. Confidence is actually you being able to handle not winning, knowing that if I don't win, I will be able to handle that. Right? So it's not about telling yourself you're good enough. It's about telling yourself if you're going to be able to handle feeling like you're not even feeling, but not being good enough. That's confidence. That's bravery. Like, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to win. I want to win, but I can handle losing. That kind of mentality is going to take you far, even in this realm. Like, even in this realm, just knowing or building enough courage to be able to handle whatever you get to experience. It's like, yeah, I can experience being in prison and still be fine. I mean, we don't want to go to prison, but you mustn't have fear of being in prison. You must just not want to go to prison. There's different, right? You must not want to be rejected, but you must know that you can handle being rejected. Is it? Because of course, in this realm, fear is being used to control us, all of us. Your fears being used to control you. Have you realized that people respond very well when they are afraid? Like, not that they respond very well, but if you're using fear to make people comply, they're going to react the way that you want them to react. It's like if you show up to a bank with a pew-pew and you point at people and say, hey, kneel down, all of you kneel, they're going to kneel down. If you just a nice person and you approach people like, yeah, kneel down, and you're a nice person, even if they like you, they're not going to respond. Why should they kneel down? But if you're using their own fear against them, that's it. They will kneel down. Like, you can make people do anything if you make them afraid. That's it. You can take people's phones. Like, give me your phone. Or give me your wallet. Take off your shoes. But if they're not afraid, they ain't giving you shit. So that shows you that fear, because in a world like this, of course, fear will be used to control people. Since they respond the way that you want them to respond when they are afraid. So, to free yourself, you must not be afraid. You must, even if you are afraid, but you must be brave enough to know that even if you experience what you are afraid of, you will still be strong. Because what's really there to be afraid of? If consciousness is fundamental, if this is a dream, if there are infinite realms out there, what's really there to be afraid of? Nothing. You can't be trapped anywhere forever. No, people are afraid of hell. Like, no, you can't even be trapped anywhere. Like, consciousness, when you look at the way consciousness works, you realize that it doesn't want the same thing. Even though I keep on telling you that the world is not really changing, it feels like you're experiencing the same things every day, but you realize that your own body grows. The people that you love, their own bodies change, right? Times change, right? Technology keeps on evolving. Like, things keep, like, you don't just relive. It's not like you're stuck on a loop, right? Experiencing the same shit over and over again. You're not growing. The people's faces are not changing. People are not dying. People are not, coming to this realm and all that. Like, it's just the same shit. Like, no, it doesn't work that way. So you must realize that you can never be stuck in one place forever. So you must not believe in hell, be afraid of hell, anything like that. What you must work on knowing and never forgetting is that consciousness is fundamental, and there are infinite rooms out there, and you cannot be stuck in one realm, right? The more you work on realizing that, the more conscious you become, the more free you become, you see? The more you get to understand. One of the biggest mistakes that you've made growing up was believing that we live in a material universe. So your whole worldview is sourced from that belief, right? Your whole worldview is rooted on that. Like, you think this is physical. So you can never try to explain reality the way that it actually is. The same way that when if you're dreaming, and you believe that you're in a physical world, your interpretation is wrong. Like, the foundation of your interpretation is just wrong. You're believing that you're in a physical world and you're not. So how the fuck are you going to figure out what is actually going on? If you're not in the physical world and you think you're in the physical world, you're wrong. The foundation is wrong. You see the problem? So that's the mistake that you made. We're in a hell realm, but I genuinely believe that we actually have what it takes to escape this realm, right? Like, it's not impossible to escape this realm. We just need to know what we need to do. And to know anything at all, you must be willing to find out what the truth is, even if the truth does not make you feel good. You mustn't be like, well, I'm gonna want the truth if it makes me feel good. Like, no matter how the truth makes you feel, it's fine. You must be so conscious that you don't care how the truth makes you feel. Like, I'm gonna handle anything as long as it's true. So thank you all, guys. Join the Discord. Let's keep on communicating. I will be there. I'll be active. Yeah, we're gonna keep on communicating. You can also send private messages. Yeah, so yeah, it's beautiful. I like Discord. I like Discord more than I like Telegram, more than I like WhatsApp, more than I like. I mean, I like Facebook for different reasons, but for like, when it comes to building like a community where people can interact, I think Discord is better than Telegram, it's better than WhatsApp, it's better than Facebook, better than Twitter, you know. I think we can learn a lot from one another and we can have a lot of fun. So join the Discord, guys. Let's keep on growing. Let's keep on figuring out what is more true. Thank you.